Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists out of pointless things. Why are we flying by this pointless statue in Booty Bay? Oh yeah, because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. Number 10 is copper ore, and copper ore is just the most common, old reliable ore. It's most likely the first ore that you ever mined if you're, a miner in the game. But you just find it everywhere. You find it by the water, you find it inside plants in the mountains, you find it by dead people, you find it just everywhere you look. And a lot of people don't like copper. They don't really need copper because it's like a low level thing, but you know what, I appreciate you, copper ore. And you know what, I don't know what else to say, so that's number 10. Number 9 is ghost iron ore, and out in the green grass it may look like it's not that spooky, but once you put it in some dark caves, look at that. That is some demonic ore, dude. That's like poltergeist ore right there. It's definitely the scariest of the ores. There's no doubt about that one. I mean, look at that. The grass is actually going through it, showing that it really is ghost ore. I thought this one was cool too because it looked like it was snowing on it, but it's not actually snowing on it. It's just how the ghost iron ore is. But either way, it's a pretty cool ore. It's one of those things where once you really look at it, you don't realize how cool it is. And it's number 9. Number 8 is cobalt ore, and cobalt ore reminds me a lot of copper ore actually, except it's blue, and the actual ore pieces stick out a little bit longer than copper ore, but aside from that, it's essentially just the copper ore of Northrend. But there's nothing wrong with that, it's still pretty cool, and what? He threw a snowball at him, and he just keeps mining. Oh wait, no, he's like, hey you asshole, I'm trying to mine here, idiot. Number 7 is fell iron ore, and fell iron ore I put here because it was one of the first things I remembered from just going into the Outland. It was the first ever ore that wasn't from vanilla or classic WoW, and so you walk through that portal, you look around, you're like, oh shit, fell iron ore, that's gotta be the new ore, I gotta mine some of it and sell it. But it started, or I guess you could like use it to craft stuff as well. I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna craft some cool stuff with this, but it made me realize we're playing around with this fell infused ore, right? Fell is this destructive magic that like Gul'dan and all these warlocks are using and everything, and they say it's demonic, entropic, chaotic, and extremely volatile, according to this thing, which causes heavy genetic mutations, skin color changes, all sorts of crazy shit. And we're just like, hey, I found some, I'm gonna make stuff out of it. Or you want to, maybe we'll trade it around. It's like trading like radioactive stuff. Like, dude, you want some of this? Yeah, I need to make a helmet out of it. Oh, neat. I'll give you, 20 silver. Awesome. I'm surprised we haven't grown like legs and shit out of our head. Sorry I went on such a big rant about fell iron ore. I don't know why. I just had some weird realization about it. Like, what the shit are we doing? Number 6 is laystone. Here it is, laystone. It kind of looks like a cupcake. It's got like the base and then the frosting on top. That's what it reminded me of. It's pretty cool. It looks kind of sad here, looking over the coast, just like, yeah, I'm laystone. Number 5 is mithril, and mithril is one of those ores where I remember mining it, but I remember kind of bypassing it in my way through the mining process. Like in vanilla WoW, it's like, oh yeah, some mithril stuff, and it helped you level for a bit, and then you're like, all right, I don't really need mithril anymore. But it's still a pretty cool ore. And now that I look at it, it looks a lot more like cobalt than copper does. So there's also this weird bug-covered mithril ore in Tanaris. Oh god, the bugs! They want their mithril back! Number 4 is pyrite ore, and from doing some research, I found out that pyrite, in real life, is actually fool's gold. So if you've ever heard of fool's gold, that's just pyrite. But in World of Warcraft, it looks a lot like a baked potato. And that's the main reason I put it here. Number 3 is Elementium ore, and I put Elementium here because it has this cool, like, shadowy shade of blue going by it. But one thing I noticed is it loops, and you can see it loop. The, like, weird shadow. Look at that, you see it. I'm gonna show it again. Here it comes. Watch it. Look, there it is. See? Look, there it is. But aside from that, very cool. Blizzard, dedicate somebody, smoothing out that loop. Take one lunch off. Go fix it. Number 2 is silver ore, and I put silver ore here mainly for nostalgia factor. Because I remember way back in Vanilla WoW, I was mining copper ore and I finally found a silver ore vein. And I was like, oh my god, it's right over there. But my grandparents were visiting and they're like, come say hi. So I'd be like, I gotta go fast. And so I went and said hi and I came back. And when I came back, it was gone. And I was so disappointed, even though silver ore isn't really that great. But it seems great when you're like level 10 and you're like, oh shit, dude, I gotta get this silver ore. Whoa, my god. And number 1 is thorium. And again, this is for more of a nostalgic reason, even though thorium does look really cool. It's got like so many ore things popping out of it. It's got like this weird smoke being emitted from it. I used to go to Winter Spring, and I would go in a big path and just mine a bunch of thorium ore. And I would alternate between there and Azshara back in Vanilla WoW, getting herbs in Azshara, and then I'd go up to Winter Spring and mine thorium, because I had mining and herbalism. And it was great. I enjoyed it. I made a lot of money doing it, and I just have this weird, like, nostalgic memory of mining a lot of thorium in Winter Spring. And that's why it's number 1. Because, I mean, did you ever think I'd put Laystone at number 1? All around me are familiar faces, worn out places. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm being mined are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, and I find it hard to take. When people run in circles just mining me, it's a very mad world.